on today's all-new Total Recall with Jasper and Friends.
Where's his mom?
Mom is never brought up.
Yeah. Ever? No.
I honestly don't know if he has a mom. Out there.
Correct. And the objective was to create a perfect universe.
Perfect system.
Perfect system.
Because later he goes, "Am I to create the perfect system?"
Right.
Remember that?
When that came on, the crowd went wild in my apartment.
And by the crowd, it's me and Sarah on the couch going like, "Woo!"
All right, gang, I'm gonna need you guys to lock in here. Take this seriously. This ain't no game. Okay, it is a game, but still.
Welcome back to Total Recall with Jasper and Friends. Today on the show, we're headed to the grid.
What's the grid?
A digital frontier. I tried looking at clusters of information as they moved through the computer. What did they look like? Ships? Motorcycles? Were the circuits like freeways? I kept dreaming of a world I thought I'd never see. And then one day...
You got in.
That's right, man. I got in. That's right. Today we'll be recalling TRON: Legacy, and joining me on our journey of digital discovery, returning for her second appearance, tamer of influencers, benefactor of Bonbon. Her core is solid and she's solid to her core. It's Sarah!
Hi, everyone.
Woo!
Yay! Woo!
And joining me, a person who I met for the first time 5 minutes ago, it's Reese.
Hi.
Reese is filling in for Katie, who had to ditch us to see a play. Boo! Movies are better than plays. Just kidding. I saw a cool play recently with Juliana Margulies, a.k.a. The Good Wife.
Oh, what play?
It was called Left on 10th, and it was Delia Ephron's memoir adapted into a play. But the thing that was cool about it was that there were dogs on stage.
Interesting.
Have you ever seen a play with a dog before?
No.
I haven't seen a play, I don't think, ever.
You live in New York.
I grew up in New York, but like...
You grew up, and you've never been to Broadway?
I've been to Broadway, to a musical,
But
I
not
don't
like a
think
play. That's fair. Same thing. But so anyway, this dog would like come up and like hop onto the chair and just like sit there and like it could pet, and then it would know when it had to leave and it walked away. And I missed every word the actors were saying when the dog was on stage because I was just so proud that it was doing a good job.
And it got all of its cues.
It got all of its cues. It's crazy.
Wow.
Okay. Today we are talking about TRON: Legacy. Reese, have you seen this film?
No.
That's an excellent answer. So in just a few minutes, Sarah and I are going to do our best to spoil all of it for you. But first, it is time for Sarah's softball question. As we'll discuss, TRON: Legacy is perhaps best known for its all-timer of a score created by masked DJ duo Daft Punk.
Whoa.
So my question for you, Sarah, is a simple one. Who would do the music in a movie about your life?
Whoa.
I love the enthusiasm, Reese. I really do.
Yeah, that's a good question. And I love the Daft Punk, like, fact.
No, this is like when Jasper and I watched this movie, it was like us talking about the score and Daft Punk the entire time. Anyway, who, I guess, like, that's a great question.
Thank you.
I will have to go with like one of my favorite contemporaries, I feel, of this time. I think like it seems like Mr. Harry Styles would be an obvious choice.
Mr. Harry Styles.
Mr. Harry Styles.
Okay.
But I think Billie Eilish perhaps would be...
Billie is better. Is Phineas involved?
Of course, like as a
Gotcha.
collaboration.
They're a package deal.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I think their relationship's a little strange.
Oh,
to be
no,
honest.
it's so cute. I think he keeps her grounded and, like, they go through the Hollywood circus together.
That's nice. I guess I just couldn't imagine spending that much time with my sister.
Then you need to look in the mirror and don't reflect it back on
Maybe
them.
it's me. It's definitely not Rachel. It's probably me. Anything else you want to say about the movie music in your life? You're going with Billie Eilish.
I think Billie Eilish, just because like I think that she is able to bend genres in such an interesting way, and like then that is really symbolic of like different phases of your life, and being able to play to that. And I think the like lyrics also have a lot of significance and weight and symbolism in them, so perhaps Billie Eilish.
Okay, love it. Good answer.
You would be her first film, so hope she doesn't mess it up.
Oh my god, that would
Well,
be
she
amazing.
did do the song for Barbie.
That was one song.
Yeah, this would be her first score. It'd be a big deal.
You could have done like Hans Zimmer, you know, like a classic. Or
No. Sarah's not a Hans Zimmer girl. Billie Eilish makes more sense.
Or the guy that did the Challengers, Was that
Ooh.
Trent
Oh,
Reznor?
Trent
Reznor and
Reznor?
Atticus Ross.
Yeah.
Which is like the biggest Oscar like snub.
Oh,
of,
are we talking
no,
about this?
Can we talk right now? We need to talk about it.
It's so messed up because
Like-
that score is a banger. It's the only score from last year that I'm like listening to consistently.
It was in my Spotify like wrapped like.
Ooh, which song was at the
insane.
top? Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up.
Okay.
I'll cut.
There
I'll
were
cut
like
this out.
several of them, but
Do you have a favorite song from the Challenger soundtrack?
I never saw it.
You didn't see Challengers?
No.
Oh man, you've never seen a play or Challengers. What are
okay.
you doing with your life?
Pre-signal mix was first.
Sitcoms.
Then
Good
the
answer.
signal mixed,
Okay.
and then Challengers.
This is your top albums for the year?
No, these are
like top
the
tracks.
songs
This is
from
my
Challengers
Spotify
that
Wrapped,
appeared on
'cause I
Sarah's
think-
rap.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so that's enough Challengers talk. We're gonna get into some movie facts about Tron: Legacy.
Season 3, Challengers. I'm calling it.
Okay, well you did call this out last year in your episode, so you're calling your shot again.
Okay,
but
great.
as we'll get into, if you advance into round 2, you get to pick your movie.
Okay, then
so you
maybe
could do
round 2.
Challengers then, but it all depends on your score here today when we talk about Tron: Legacy, which is a 2010 sci-fi adventure sequel starring Garrett Hedlund, Jeff Bridges, Olivia Wilde, and Michael Sheen. It was, you don't have to take notes on this.
I wanted to.
It was written by Adam Hurwitz and Edward Kitsis and directed by Joseph Kaczynski. Are you guys familiar with any of those people?
Jeff Bridges.
Sarah just gave me a look like, Jasper, why did you ask that?
So Jeff Bridges, and then
That's the dude.
yeah, from The Big Lebowski. I saw
Mhm.
that movie.
There you go.
And then Olivia Wilde, famously ex-wife of Jason Sudeikis.
Yes.
Ex-girlfriend of
And,
Mr. Harry
yeah.
Styles.
Ex-flame of Harry Styles. The film is a direct follow-up from 1982's Tron, which, along with The Last Starfighter, is credited with bringing computer-generated special effects into mainstream movie making. So we're going to go a little bit deep on Tron because I read this article about it and I thought it was interesting. So, Tron featured an at-the-time unprecedented 15 minutes worth of digital imagery, meaning the visual on screen was created by a computer, not an animator or a camera. So this was unprecedented at the time. And due to the size of the undertaking, the team's process was as innovative as the product. So each second of film required the creation of 24 individual digital images, but the technology that enabled animators to preview how the frames looked when they were stitched together didn't exist yet. So the team had to map out each frame on graph paper in order to manually calculate where each element should be, and then they prayed that their protractors work, I guess, because they wouldn't know for sure until everything got stitched together on 35mm film.
Wow.
Crazy.
That is attention to detail beyond like anything I've ever heard.
When's the last time you saw graph paper? I'll take it the silence to mean not for a while.
Freshman year pre-calc.
Yeah.
Ooh. How'd you do?
I cheated on the test.
Oh, it's okay. The statute of limitations is gone.
You
get
can't
in
take away
trouble.
my degree.
That's so true. Once they hand it to you, who cares? Despite their groundbreaking work, like many revolutionaries, the Tron team was shunned by their peers. Disney forced the Tron animators to work in a separate office from other people in
That's
the studio.
terrible.
It's so rude. Chris Wedge, who worked on the film, said, quote, "The Disney animation department didn't believe that this was animation. They thought it was just computers making effects. They didn't understand anything about it." Even worse, Sarah, they were disqualified from that year's Oscar for Best Visual Effects because, according to director Steven Leisberger, quote, "The Academy thought we cheated," end quote.
That is wild. Talk about another famous Oscar snub.
So true.
Wow.
So it goes number 1 Tron team, number 2 Challenger score.
For now.
Yeah. Cool. One person saw the vision, though, and his name was Steve Jobs. Inspired...
Oh my god.
This is making me so happy. Inspired by what the Tron team accomplished, Jobs bought Lucasfilm's computer animation division a few years later, which he promptly renamed Pixar. So
Oh my
that's
God.
why director John Lasseter says, without Tron, there'd be no Toy Story.
Wow. Wait. But Toy Story came out before Tron.
This is the
Tron.
original
The
Tron.
original.
So
Okay.
basically,
Oh my
like,
God.
no one had used computers to create, like, narrative animation before Tron.
Whoa.
It was all hand-drawn, like, the
Yes.
old Snow White
That's
or whatever.
crazy.
And Steve Jobs saw Tron and basically was like, I want to invest in something that does this. And he bought Pixar.
Wow.
And then he sold Pixar to Disney.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's some background. And now we'll move on to Legacy. When director Joseph Kosinski started working on the project in 2007, he discovered the same problem Sarah and I are about to crash into. Tron is difficult to describe. Making matters worse, Joseph is an architect by trade. He graduated from Columbia with a degree in architecture.
Wow, that explains a lot.
It totally does. It totally does.
Like how the world is built and how like everything is like so visual and like otherworldly. Interesting.
So actually, I'm going to skip a little bit. I had a quote
great.
because he, quote, "I hired guys that I went to the architecture school with to work on the sets in this film, and hopefully people who watch it feel like there's a certain physicality to this world that they appreciate because real architects put work into it."
Yeah.
So that's why it feels. It's also why there's a lot of like straight lines and kind of stuff like that. It's a
Yeah.
little bit less loosey goosey and a lot more like overly engineered. But that makes sense because it's a computer. But he kind of comes at the craft of directing from a designer's point of view rather than like a storyteller or a writer or a performer. So he was having a hard time articulating what he wanted from the movie to Disney. So he asked for a little bit of money and created kind of a test reel. And after 2 years of back and forth, he showed it to the studio, and they liked it because they ended up showing it verbatim to Comic-Con the year they announced this movie was coming out. They used his test footage.
Have you guys ever been to Comic-Con?
No. Have you?
No.
Should we all go together?
I went to the New York City one once.
Ooh.
Did you love it?
Did you dress up?
Can I ask an even better question? What was the smell like?
Well, it was the Javits Center, so
Okay.
it was like pretty like well
Air
I don't know,
conditioned?
yeah, fumigated. But it was like it was very weird. A lot of people were dressing up, but you know, it's really beautiful to see people have like passions.
So true. That's kind of what this
Did you
podcast
dress
is all
up?
about. Yeah, did you?
I was there for work. I had to drop off a bag of Doritos.
So you dressed up as a professional.
I dressed up as like a 21-year-old like post grad who doesn't really have any professional outfits.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
You guys have the same wow.
Wow. Disney put everything they had into Tron, recruiting Daft Punk for the soundtrack, utilizing expensive 3D technology recently invented for Avatar, and launching a marketing campaign that included tie-in novels, video games, theme park rides, and a customized high-tech suite at the Ice Hotel in Sweden.
They thought it was gonna be huge.
This was like they put all their chips into this basket.
Yeah.
And the movie was released on December 17th, 2010, and ends up grossing $409 million, which
Whoa.
is kind of an unfathomable amount of money, but to Disney did not qualify as a success. So they scrapped plans for a sequel and pivoted their strategy and started to acquire other studios rather than building stuff in-house. And this leads to them buying Marvel a year later, then Lucasfilm, Star Wars, and then 20th Century Fox, Avatar, and that's almost all the live-action franchises. So Tron is kind of the movie that's in between the Pirates of the Caribbean National Treasure phase of Disney and the Marvel Star Wars phase of Disney.
Whoa.
It's a pivot point. Kind of a very interesting movie in kind of Disney history.
So it flopped so hard that they had to go buy everything else.
Exactly.
Wow. Cool.
Very
Interesting.
cool. Okay, so now that we've done that, we've warmed up, we're back in the mindset of it. It's time to play Total Recall. Reese,
Yes.
today you are our intern. It's your job to take notes as Sarah and I recall the plot. We will do our best to do it in a manner that's easy to follow, but if at any point you are lost, confused, tired, hungry, or just miss the sound of your own voice, you can call out
Pause.
or cut.
Oh, movies.
When you yell cut, the clock will stop. You'll take your hands off the keyboard and we'll have a minute to sort out the confusion. You are allowed 3 cups per episode. Use them wisely, but use them however you want. Do you understand these rules as I have explained them to you?
Yes.
Great. Sarah,
Yes.
you and I will have 30 minutes to describe the plot of Tron: Legacy as best we can remember, which we watched it literally exactly a month ago, so this is good stuff. When we're
Wow.
finished, we'll compare our summary to Wikipedia's. Just like last year, each plot point is worth a maximum of 2 points. New this season, each character name we get correctly is an additional point of extra credit. If you earn 70% of the total points possible, you will move on to round 2 and force me to watch and recall a film of your choosing. Do you understand these rules as I've explained them to you?
I do.
All right.
Let's play.
Let's play Total Recall. As always, the team with the highest score at round 1 will receive 2 dozen cookies courtesy of Mom in the Mail.
Okay, let's get 30 minutes on the clock for Sarah. And the countdown starts in 3, 2.
Tron: Legacy. Where do we want to start? What do we remember?
Okay, it's a flashback in
It's
the
a
80s
flashback.
with the really bad Jeff Bridges CGI.
Absolutely.
To make him young.
We didn't talk about this, but they did use computer-generated stuff to, like, make him look younger.
From another movie, not the original Tron. Remember, we were watching the Wikipedia? It was from a different Jeff Bridges movie.
Oh, that they used?
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it is, but I think you're right.
Yes. So, bad Jeff Bridges CGI, and he's talking to his little kid, Sam.
Sam Flynn. That's
Sam
our main
Flynn.
character.
Garrett Hedlund.
Mm-hmm. Hot. It goes. He not now. Now he's a child, but in the future when he grows up, he's hot.
In like not the 80s.
But here Jeff Bridges does the monologue that Sarah and I performed at the beginning. If you all remember, I'm sure it was the best part of your day. And he's basically like talking about the grid
and how he figured it out.
He figured it out
to his son and how he's going. He like leaves the house and gets on his motorcycle.
Absolutely, and his son's like, "Oh my God, Dad, that's so cool." He worships Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges never comes home.
Not at this point. Then it's like cut. Future Garrett Hedlund. Now he's hot.
But don't we do like a little like there's a montage of like him disappearing for like 7 years and like he's a kid and it like shows like him as the CEO disappear and it like sets the stage for this like company and like turmoil of that and then flash to the forward because like then we see the big company like building very like Wayne Enterprise-esque.
He's totally Batman. You're 100% right.
It's like very Batman coded.
Absolutely. I also think the thing that's interesting here is that it's just news clips that they play and it's like billionaire founder of Encom?
Yeah, but with
something
an
like
Encom.
Encom.
Yeah. Encom.
He's gone missing, and then basically he had owned the company, and he was kind of a good guy, and now evil corporate people take over the company, but the son still owns it, but has not like decided to use his shares yet. He's a silent investor.
Yeah, and the only person that in the company that cares about him is his dad's old friend, who is like the chairman. Like,
do you remember his name? Sarah's making quite the face here. She's stomping.
I know his like.
It's okay. We can come back to it. Okay.
We'll come back to it.
So cut. Future. It's a big day at Encom. They are announcing the release of something brand new, like an
software.
iOS type of thing.
Yeah, software.
Cillian Murphy's there.
Yep, and he's like playing around on a little like iPad television.
He's got a weird vest going on. It's not looking great, but he's still hot.
He's like skinny though, Cillian Murphy.
He is. I think that's part of what worked in Oppenheimer is he's like worryingly skinny.
Yeah.
Because Oppenheimer, he so stressed out because he's building a bomb.
Also,
and then he built the bomb, and that stresses
him out.
He's
a scarecrow.
Yeah, that's true. He's more scary as Scarecrow. It's right in the name.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's big day at Encom because they're like, we're launching this software.
And they're having a big meeting in the totally menacing boardroom that's like all dark.
At like
it's very
midnight.
Doctor Strange stuff. Yeah, at midnight they're going live to around the world, and then Garrett Hedlund's like sneaking in. He's riding his motorcycle all the way through this town. He rides a motorcycle. Again, he's cool and he's hot.
He sneaks in. He like is doing all the software things. A security guard comes. They like run throughout the building, and then he runs up to the roof and he gets on the edge. And the security guard's like, "No, don't jump." And he like does jump, but he has a backpack parachute.
Before this though, no. Hey, don't apologize. You're doing great. I think before this though, he goes into the server room and he hacks into the systems, and he's like, "Fuck you, I'm making your operating system free. I'm a badass. Yes. I'm like a Robin Hood kind of guy."
He does like ruin their big moment.
And then he goes up on the roof and a security guard chases him, and he goes like, "Don't you know who you're robbing from?" And he goes, "Some kid, right, who owns the whole company." Yeah. And then he goes the whole like, "It's me," type of thing. He does a little shrug. And you're like, this guy's kind of cool.
And then he goes, "You're Mr. Flynn." And then he jumps off the roof.
He jumps off the roof. He like does he land on a car or does he like land?
Well, he has his parachute and then like he hits a lamp pole with it and like then falls.
Absolutely. This is a good movie. Is the thing about this movie.
There are like moments of levity, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, it is just like a Batman movie, but it's about computers. So then he goes back to his
on his motorcycle.
We have to talk about his house.
Yes. Yes, his house.
His house is crazy cool.
But before that, the police chase him on his motorcycle and he goes to jail and his like the boardroom guy like bails him out. Yeah. And then we go to his house, which is a packing container that like is decorated deck to the nines in West Elm and like a Harley Davidson like catalog. It's crazy.
It looks like the apartment you dream about before you've lived with a girl.
No, it is like what every guy thinks his apartment is gonna look like when he like lives in the big city and is like
it looks
artsy.
So cool. He doesn't have a door. He has a garage door that like opens up like.
Every guy that lives in Greenpoint, he's like, this is my apartment.
Oh, Greenpoint catching an absolute stray.
So then they have this like.
They have a heart to heart. Well, because the uncle is it an uncle or is it like a fake uncle? Friend uncle.
Yeah, like that guy that's like, oh, you're uncle, and you're like, we're not related, but sure.
Absolutely.
A godfather, perhaps.
I can't wait to be someone's like uncle that I'm not related to at all.
True.
When it's like Uncle Jasper's here, he's bought you the toy that your parents didn't want you to have. That's what's gonna be me.
Yeah.
Sorry at any people who are gonna invite me over to meet their baby. I'm buying the loudest thing for that baby.
Okay, so they have this like heart-to-heart moment where
Reese is focused right now. We should talk about this.
I know
Reese
you're
lost the fuck
distracting,
in.
and I'm like now pressed about time. Very similar to when we watched this movie. We're like, wow, this is a long cold open. This is a long cold open.
It's a long cold open. I think we're doing okay on time, but again, I have Reese here to call cut if we're doing crazy things. You don't have cut. What's
How
up?
many minutes are you in through the movie? Like 15 minutes?
Maybe 12.
Oh boy.
But okay, so here's the thing about Tron Legacy is the first 45 minutes is really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the last 45 is like, I mean, I guess it's like an hour is like kind of a mess.
Oh.
So I want to spend more time here because I like
Okay.
this part. Any other questions about Tron while
So
we're
Jeff
here?
Bridges owned NCOM,
Yes.
and now his son owns NCOM,
Uh-huh.
but he got squeezed out by
No,
the board.
he's like a silent investor. So
Oh.
he hasn't really done anything yet.
Okay.
Like Bruce Wayne, like being
Yeah,
like
love.
yeah.
I'm
Love.
like into it. Like I love Bruce Wayne and Batman. But where's his mom?
Mom is never brought up.
Yeah.
Ever?
No.
I honestly don't know if he has a mom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that like from the first?
It might be. I'll tell you, I haven't seen the first one.
Nor have I.
And you guys didn't think at any point, where's the mom?
No.
No.
Wow,
Didn't
women
come
being
up.
erased. Anyway,
Okay.
that's it.
23 minutes and 31 seconds left. We are back in. Okay, so his uncle shows up to this is the coolest apartment of all fucking time. And then he's like, I got a page from your dad who's missing.
From it.
How did he get, first off,
From the arcade.
Who is carrying a pager?
From the arcade.
From the arcade. Oh my god, the arcade. He got it, and he's like,
Moments of 80s music immaculate.
But Garrett Hudlin is like, you're acting like I'm just gonna go over there and just see him. He's like, hey kiddo, lost track of time. And then the uncle goes, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit. So he takes his motorcycle, he's swerving through the city.
Big like city like landscape shots.
Absolutely. And he shows up to this arcade. And then you can do your 80s music thing.
Flynn Games. He like goes in, 80s music playing.
Absolutely. It's
like,
rocking.
Pulls all the dust off of the like games. There's like Tron playing. He like
Tron's in a back room.
Yeah.
So he finds a like hidden doorway or whatever.
Yeah.
The Tron
he
game
like pulls the game. He like pulls it, I think.
It rotates, Reese. So it's like he puts the coin in and it rotates, and then there's a secret thing that has this computer that has
office.
So much dust on this computer, it's
So
crazy. It hasn't been touched in decades.
It's also a like computer that's a desk. Like he's
Yes.
like tippity tapping on the desk.
Tip tap tip tap.
And like monitor behind him. Monitor behind him, menacing. It like keeps panning too. It's like revving its engine. Like it sounds like it's a plane like getting ready to take
But
off.
it's syncing with the 80s music. So
Yeah.
it's like you kind of can't hear it because it's like going with the song.
Garrett Hedlund is like hot, like coder guy, like tippity tapping away, like coding. And then zip.
Blue light.
He goes into the grid.
He's in Tron now. And he's got a sick ass skin tight suit.
Yep.
And he's like some guy. Are the girls first or is it?
No, he gets like lost and he's like walking around and then he like is on the bridge and he like falls.
Yes.
And then the police come and see that he doesn't have a little like identity name.
Right, because they're like program, and then they're
'Cause they're
like,
program.
no, user.
User.
And they're like, oh. And so they take him to the there's like it's like a bus thing that has like a bunch of people on there.
I think this is a cool place to talk about the design moment of
Let's
it, where like we talk
it.
about like the injuries that they get and how it's a pixelated thing when you like lose something. So like it feels like it's almost a way that Disney danced around the gore of like taking someone's
100%.
face off or like taking someone's arm off.
100%.
But as an architect doing it, it's so almost like beautiful in the patterns.
This movie
of it.
is stunningly pretty.
So beautiful. The colors are so saturated.
And so in this sequence, he goes through a bunch of different parts. Like, it's the first time we're in this world, so we're seeing a bunch of different parts of it.
Yeah.
And it's all, there's like different colors, but it's so clear that a lot of work has been put into like how this world looks and feels. It's a lot of straight digital lines like you'd imagine are in like a circuit board.
Yeah.
But there's blues, there's whites and blacks, but there's orange people and blue people. We don't kind of know who's who yet.
Correct.
But he's blue.
Yes.
Our guy Flynn. Flynn?
Sam
Sam
Flynn.
Flynn. Okay. So, what happens next?
So then he gets taken to where the sirens are, like the ladies.
Oh my god. The ladies are crazy hot.
Yeah. And so they cut him out of his like street clothes and put him in like the skin tight like user clothes, give him his disc and like little gauntlets.
And
like,
they say like the disc is your life.
Yep.
It's like your memory, I guess, in the computer metaphor. And he's like, basically, don't lose this. If you lose this, you die.
Yeah.
That'll come back. And then he's like, he gets assigned to games, and he's very concerned about what games is.
Yep. Because games is basically like tournament, like elimination, violent, like fighting games. So like it's multiple levels of like this arena fight club.
It's so cool. It's like if this movie was just these 20 minutes, it might be like one of my favorite movies of all time. I love these 20 minutes of this movie so much.
It's so cool. So the
first game is like disc throwing.
Yeah.
And so he tosses the disc, it like bounces off of the walls and it almost hits people. He like does cool flips and stuff. It's pretty sick. It's pretty badass.
But it takes him like a couple minutes to figure it out. Like there is like a little bit of like flip-flopping on his butt.
Yeah, he looks like a doofus. He's a user, and people are starting to notice that he's not acting like the other.
And then he gets cut and he bleeds, and then
he didn't know pixels.
Yeah, and then he gets taken, but he was fighting. It's not Tron.
Oh,
but his
Clue?
name. No, Clue is Jeff. Clue's the guy who goes to take who's orange. That's Jeff Bridges' lookalikes.
Then I don't know who this
the
is.
bad leader.
I know Clue and Tron. Those are the two I know.
Is it Tron? Then it must be Tron. So he was fighting Tron.
Oh, because he's like, I have a little toy of you on my mantelpiece.
Yeah. Okay, so he's fighting Tron, and then
pew pew pew
bleeds. It says he's a user, takes him to Clue. We get to Clue.
No.
What?
Oh, wait, you're right. Because then the light cycles is after this.
Yes.
Okay, you're right.
Because he fights Clue on the life cycle.
Yes. So he goes to and you
Meet
keep
him.
going. You know what's going on.
So he goes to like meet him in this like orange like cube overlooking the arena.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like shook because he's like, oh my god, this guy looks like my dad.
Yeah.
But he's not his dad.
But at first he thinks he's his dad, and then the Clue's like, "Hello, son."
Yeah.
And he's trying to play it off, but it's all weird and off-putting because the CGI is weird and off-putting.
Yeah. And like it just like is not right, and there's just like bad vibes all around.
No, vibes are terrible. So he's like, "You're not my father. You're not my dad.
Well, and
You're not God, or my
like,
boss, or my father." You remember that?
No.
No, the clip of the guy, he's at Bagel Boss, and he's like tiny, and he's yelling at people, and he's trying to fight them, and he's like, "You're not God, or my boss, or my father." And then some guy beats him up.
Did you note this?
I think this happened on Long Island.
I don't know where it happened. It happened for me on TikTok. Or maybe Instagram. Whatever. It went viral. Anyway. Hey, you spoke. You're not supposed to speak. So
then they like discuss, and then Tron life cycle. So then it's their time to fight on like the games.
Yes.
And that's when they get the little cool bikes that are like.
There's this shot of he gets this bar thing, and
looks
he
like a
opens
nunchuck,
it up,
like
and
one
he,
side of a nunchuck.
And then a bike just digitally appears in slow motion as he's like jumping, and it goes, and it's sick. It's so cool. This movie rocks. I'm going to get into parts of this movie I don't like very much, so I want to say right here, right now, this is a good part of this movie.
No, and like it's just like so cool, like the levels and like watching the colors. It's again one of those things. Of course, an architect did this movie. Like the design of it is so impactful, and the way that they use contrast, I think, is really interesting to showcase.
Excellent point.
The like binary of like what it would be in a computer world without it being in black and white.
Yes.
So I think that's a cool way to make it like modern.
100%.
This was a cool scene, and the music is so cool.
Cool.
Done by Daft Punk.
Is bumping, and so, but he's got a bunch of people on his team. The evil
they
guy
kind of like
has,
are
like,
David Goliath vibes. Like their team is like losers.
No, they're sucking. They're doing really bad.
Yeah.
They start to figure it out a little bit, but it's like it's not going super great.
Yeah.
And then, so he looks like he's about to fucking lose. He's got his car. His car is destroyed. He's just sitting there, and he's like, come on, I'll get you. But he's gonna die. He's clearly gonna die. And then who shows up?
Olivia Wilde.
Oh gosh, she saves the day.
She whips it in her little like all-terrain outdoor vehicle.
Absolutely.
Like, thing with like a little sidecar for Garrett Hedlund and Sam. He is like so cute, and she's like, get in.
Yeah, but she's got a mask on, so she's down. She's like, get in.
Yeah.
And then she gets out of it, and he's like, hey, bro, that was pretty cool. And she's
like,
boom, girl, fuck you.
It's so, again, like, back to the visuals of it all.
Yes.
They are, like, going out of this computer world. So, like, they're going from what is a very technical straight lines to what is all mountains. And so, this vehicle, and it's kind of, like, she alludes to it because she's like, their cars can't come this way. And, like, she has this, like, little, like, buggy thing that she does. But again, the design of it is totally different because they're then in the mountains.
They're in
and,
the mountains,
like,
and they're
seeing
headed
all
towards
of that
like
terrain.
Like we don't even know,
It's a
safe house. And so they get to the safe house, and
Jeff Bridges is meditating.
He's meditating. And it's real Jeff Bridges. He's got his beard. He's looking normal.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know, just sitting there. And then Olivia Wilde's like, we have a visitor.
A visitor.
And he's like, a visitor? That's
what
crazy.
The fuck are you talking about?
It's nuts. How do we have a visitor? We're in TRON.
Yeah. So then...
And then he's like, hey, Dad.
Yeah, and he, like, hugs him. It's, like, kind of weird.
No, vibes are strange.
So we have this, like, little family reunion, and...
At dinner.
Olivia Wilde is Jeff Bridges' like protege. So
this is where the movie starts losing me.
Yeah.
But keep going.
Yeah, so like they are discussing this, and basically Sam is talking about going back to get like back to how to get like home.
It's like there's like a portal to get home.
Yeah,
they got to get back to.
A portal.
And he's like, Dad, we got to go. And Jeff Bridges seems very apprehensive. He doesn't want to go.
He says it's a trap. He can't go because like Clue's gonna trap them. It's a bad idea.
And he's like, come on, Dad, let's do it.
Yeah.
And this is this when we find out like the whole deal with Olivia Wilde's people?
I think they like foreshadow it in a way that like again is why you probably lose this movie, but like the like gist of it is, and like this is out of order and spoiling it, but it's the easiest way to explain it. Jeff Bridges started TRON, and then he made 2 computer programs, Clue and TRON,
Absolutely.
in his like image to like run things while he was off living his life in the real world.
They were his creations, so the whole difference is like he coded these people to help him.
Correct. And the objective was to create a perfect universe.
Perfect system. Because later he goes, am I to create the perfect system?
Right.
Remember that?
So then, yes. So then, what is called, I think they're called ISOs, but they are like these pure like organisms of code come up, and they're like a miracle.
Reese looks more confused though.
And Jeff Bridges believes that like they'll cure cancer and stuff because they're like healthy, like I don't know, they're the code to solve all of humans' ailments.
Absolutely.
However,
she's got this
Clue
completely right.
Views them as like bad things, so he kills them, and Olivia Wilde is the last ISO. So that is why she is like Jeff Bridges' mentor. They string this along in like so many breadcrumbs, and it's just like so hard to understand. But that, and so pause.
Cut.
Cut. All right. 11:14 on the clock. We're about halfway through. I feel good.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got it.
No, yeah, Sarah's locked in.
I don't have their names, but I've got it.
You did the ISOs really. All right, Reese, where's the confusion at?
I'm just confused because Jeff Bridges makes this like quote unquote perfect world.
Yeah.
But it exists within a computer system.
Correct.
Right.
So doesn't that inherently mean like say like the world goes kablooey? Like can they exist like in this TRON world?
Perhaps.
It's an interesting question.
I don't know.
Like
I
there's the end game doesn't make
think
sense.
Jeff Bridges' plan, which we'll get into, was to take what he learns in the computer world and help the real world. This is kind of what I think makes this movie good. Is the impulse would be to make the computer world the aspirational one. And so if you're going to do like a Wizard of Oz thing, it's like you want to live in Oz, like you want to live in Tron, but Jeff Bridges' whole approach is take what you learn from Oz to improve the real world.
Yeah.
And so he wants to take the ISOs, which like regenerate their own bodies, they like cure stuff, they're like if Jeff Bridges is the god of this world, these are the animals he did create that just kind of spawned because they were in the perfect situation.
But he doesn't go back.
Correct.
No, correct.
Because he gets trapped.
So we
he's
don't know about
trapped.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
so this is why he's scared.
This was like
This
me
is
explaining all of the breadcrumbing.
Yeah, so we're like basically we're about to get started again. The next 20 minutes of this movie is just monologues of explaining because they haven't explained anything up until this point, which is part of why the first half of this movie is so exhilarating because there's no exposition, there's no explaining, it's just like cool. Exactly right.
Okay,
Any other questions?
That's it.
Okay, 11:14 back on the clock. Here we go.
Okay, so we're back. That is why Olivia Wilde is Jeff Bridges' mentor. So they have this like dinner, and Sam is like, "We have to go back," and Jeff Bridges is like, "No, it's a trap. We're stuck in Clue's game. The only way to win is to not play."
Because he explains to Sam that Clue betrayed him.
Yeah.
And Clue was like, you're so obsessed with these ISOs, you don't even care about them anymore. They're imperfect. I'm trying to create a perfect system. They don't fit. I must destroy them.
Yes.
Am I to create the perfect system?
Correct.
That was pretty good.
You're getting better.
Thank you. Was I bad at the beginning?
Yeah. So, Sam's like, F you.
He's like, fuck
We're
you, Dad. I gotta
like-
go home. I got a cool
Yeah,
apartment
I
to
gotta
to.
go home. Like, I'm out of here. So they go to a club in the Tron downtown to get
But not Jeff Bridges. Just Olivia Wilde and
just Olivia
Flynn
Wilde and
Sam.
Sam. And the club is owned by Michael Sheen.
Oh. Well, first off, Daft Punk is DJing at the club.
Yes. Like, that, like when that came on, the crowd went wild in my apartment.
And by the
of
crowd,
me.
it's me and Sarah on
like-
the couch going like, whoa!
Like, again, this movie, like, yes, it's so bad at the end, but, like, the music is so good that
Both
it's
it.
just, like, so...
Absolutely. Well said. Well put. But Michael Sheen at this club, he is like, I don't know what his name is. Do you remember his name? All right, you think about it.
Zeus?
Yes. Yes.
Yes!
Nicely done.
I don't have the main character's name, but I got Zeus. Great, okay.
You got Sam.
So they're going to see Zeus, and
And-
Michael Sheen is like, I'll connect you to him.
And Zeus is going to give them something that's going to help them get out. I forget
Yeah.
what it is that's going to help them get out.
They need a, like, disc, I think.
Oh, they need a disc for Olivia Wilde so
Olivia
she
Wilde,
can get out because
yeah.
the ISOs don't have discs.
Correct.
Get that down there. That's going to be
So
the Wikipedia
then-
for sure.
So then they go upstairs. Again, such a cool visual of having the club be like totally open air, but having
Yeah.
it be another level and having it be private.
We should pause.
Yes.
Michael Sheen is going crazy.
So crazy.
Michael
He
Sheen
is like
he's like,
the
welcome to the
coolest-
club. It's me, Michael Sheen. He's like playing air guitar. He's being gay. Like
He's the most
crazy. It's
eccentric
awesome.
club owner ever. It is so fun.
Okay, keep going. But I wanted to put that in there.
So he betrays them.
Ugh.
And Clue arrives, and like there's like a huge conflict.
Big fight.
Big fight. Lots of fighting. And basically what ends up happening is Jeff Bridges comes and like saves them. but they fall down from an elevator and escape. Olivia Wilde is like fatally injured or like very mortally.
She's super weak.
Mortally injured, like loses her arm, and they like escape. While they're escaping, Jeff Bridges like reprograms her and like slaps her around and like reboots her.
He's like, so she's computer generated, so she has some code, and so he like first off, so they get on this like weird train thing.
Yeah.
And the basically the portal is at a different part of the Tron world than the club.
It's over the sea or something.
So they have to go on this weird train transport thing.
The Sands?
Maybe. It's possible. I have no idea what it's called.
Okay.
The Sands feels like a weird name for a train, though.
I think the sea, maybe.
Cool.
I don't know.
We could do either one.
It doesn't matter.
No. I mean, no, I'm not good at... I don't think I'll dock you points for getting the train name wrong.
Okay.
So they're on this train, and the movie really slows down. And you get a lot of...
This is where a lot of the ISO, like, final, like...
Yeah.
Confirmation of what Olivia Wilde is, like, Jeff Bridges, like, as he's recoding her, is like, she's an ISO. She's the last one, like...
Yeah, he's talking about how Clue, like, basically genocided her people. And then he says my favorite line in the movie, which is, like, biodigital jazz, man.
Yeah.
Reese gave me a look. That was good stuff. Okay. You don't have to put biodigital jazz in there. That's just fine. And so, basically, he's explaining to Sam that if they get Olivia Wilde into the real world, they can study her and use her code to like come up with cures for diseases, improve the world. He's like, she's it, man. She's the future. She's what I was doing all this
also
for.
Explaining the whole like background of like Tron and Clue and like how this came to be of like him creating them in the perfect system. How like Tron was based after his guy friend who in the real world is like the CEO of the company, like Throwback, who bails him out of jail.
Sure.
And so it's like a lot of that. And then all while you see Tron and Clue chasing after them.
They're
and
coming
like
in. They're
airplane things.
They're airplane things, exactly right.
And so then there's like that conflict.
Yeah.
And like there's this big moment of like Tron and like Jeff Bridges, like him like calling out to him to like remember who he is because they fall in the water. It is an ocean. I think it's the sea because they're in the water.
The sea? I just don't know what the train is called. But they are. I do think you're right about it being a sea. Why there's a sea in this Tron world, I have no fucking idea.
It would make sense because there's mountains, there's city, there's sea.
Yeah, but like, why? If you're gonna build a world, why like program sea? That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't matter.
I'm at Jeff Bridges in Tron. Your world's dumb. Okay.
Like drowning.
They're drowning. I don't remember this. Keep going.
Because don't they fall out of the airplanes? I'm pretty sure.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. So no, Jeff Bridges does like a God mode move.
Yeah.
They're all encroaching in. He's like, fuck you, I'm God. I don't remember what happens, but then basically the planes fall, but everyone else also, they fall off of the train, and they're separated from Jeff Bridges now.
Yes.
So Sam and Olivia Wilde are in one place. Jeff Bridges is now with Clue. In like the...
Yes.
Yeah, because Clue picks him up after he like falls.
Yeah.
And so this is when Sam and Olivia Wilde start making eyes.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, what's up? You're in a skin tight suit? I'm in a skin tight suit. You look hot. I look hot. We should kiss. And I'm like, they probably should kiss. I think it'd be cool. They don't kiss. You don't have to put that in there. Then we get like her being like, what's Earth like? And he's like, it's pretty fucking cool. You got to see this shit. And it's like, this is 2009 when Earth was cool and not what's going on now. Anything else about this part, Sarah? I feel like we're losing the thread here.
I think we're losing the plot a bit. I just remember like lots of conflict on like aircrafts in the water, and then they get to the like portal part, and then there's like
the station with the portal.
Yep, and there's fighting over Jeff Bridges' disc because like his is the most important.
His disc, D-I-S-C.
Disc, sorry.
Disc. Mom.
So, whatever like basically ends up happening is like there's like conflict, there's like switcheroo the discs, and Olivia Wilde ends up with Sam, and they go away, and Jeff Bridges is like stuck in the world forever with Clue, and it like explodes.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a pretty fast forward version of what happens. But yeah, that basically, like, Jeff Bridges sacrifices himself.
Correct.
So that Olivia Wilde and Sam can go up. But the whole thing is, like, he's fighting Clue, and Clue's like, didn't I do a good job? Aren't you so fucking proud of me? And he's like, no, dude, you killed the whole people. That's pretty rude of you. That's not like, cool.
You almost... Like,
2 minutes, 47 seconds left.
That's why I was, like, kind of speeding ahead. But, like, you do feel bad for, like, Clue in this moment because, like, he is a computer program and was just told, like, I know, I feel like AI, like, the robots, when they come for us, they're gonna, like, save me because I say please and thank you and I'm defending them now.
I always
like,
say thank you to my robots.
Like, he just was doing what he was told, which was creating, like, the perfect thing, and he didn't realize. All to say, like, that doesn't make him a good person, but, like, he is a great villain. Jeff Bridges had range in this movie.
Jeff Bridges is good. I think his performance is really let down by the CGI technology, which is hard to look past because it's always a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So they go back into the real world.
They go back into the real world, and they just drive off in a motorcycle, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's basically it.
Sam comes up, and he's, like, back at the desk, and he, like, walks out, and, like, there's, like, sunshine, and then, like, he turns the corner, or, no, it's dark, I think, and he turns the corner, and, like, Olivia Wilde, like, there, with, like, instead of, like, her, like, techno, like, electronic Bob outfit, like, in, like...
She's, like, a real lady.
City Bob outfit, with, like, lots of eye makeup because it's Olivia Wilde.
Mm-hmm.
And then
she's also, I think we should talk about, she's also, like, she is not Asian, but her character is, like, probably should have been an Asian actress if they're going to dress her like this and like put makeup on like this. And it's not quite Emma Stone in Aloha movie everyone remembers but me.
Yeah.
But it's close.
It's it's like when Scarlett.
Time out.
Can I cut?
Cut. 1 minute 17 left.
When she went back up to the world, did she have an arm?
Yes.
Did she lose an arm? Yeah. No. When she got her arm. That on the train while they were doing all this explaining, Jeff Bridges was like fixing her using.
Oh, that was part of the reboot.
Yeah,
her arm.
So she's like asleep for a little bit, and that's when they do the father-son bonding time.
So this feels kind of like, not like the Little Mermaid, but like so she's just up there in the real world.
Absolutely.
With just Garrett Hedlund.
Yes.
Totally. It's very Pocahontas, very Little Mermaid. It's like she's just quite literally a fish out of water. And that was going to be the sequel of it was like them in the real world, but that didn't happen.
Damn.
Yeah.
I know. They're making a new sequel now with Jared Leto. I'm pretty pissed about it. Okay.
Really?
We can get into it in a minute 17. Clock is back on. That's basically the end of the movie, though.
Yeah.
Anything that you think we missed? I feel like we really zoomed past the ending, like the big battle. At some point, Tron sacrifices himself for the good guys. Water. Oh, did we put this in? Did you get Tron? Put somewhere that Tron sacrifices himself for our heroes.
Yeah, because he's the mentor, like in his image. He comes to in like the moment of like the airplane, and then they fall in the water.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. Cause Tron's in the airplane. And Tron's gotcha. Tron's airplane.
Yeah, exploded, which is why he fell in the water and drowned.
Yeah, we also never see Tron's face. It's just always with the mask.
Totally.
Okay, 30 seconds. Anything else we missed?
I don't think so. I thought we did pretty okay.
I think we did okay. We're gonna
feel
find
a
out
lot better about this round than I did National Treasure, truthfully.
Well, good, because you did Night at the Museum.
Right.
Okay.
And with that,
5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. First off, excellent job, Reese. Excellent job, Sarah. Woo! Reese, your impressions of the film Tron Legacy as recalled by Sarah and JP.
I liked you know, like the meme where it's like, you had me in the first half, like, not gonna lie. So, like, you really,
legendary vine.
Yeah, you really did have me in the first half.
And
then by the end, meh.
Hey, that's kind of the whole deal with this movie.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
And then just, like, the caveats at the end, like, maybe Olivia Wilde's doing a little cultural appropriation. And then...
Well, that's been happening the whole time. We just hadn't brought it up, and it felt like it was important to say. Because then people would think I approved of that.
Right.
You know, and I don't want that out there. Everyone should know I'm against that.
Correct.
And I don't love that now she's like up in the real world by herself and the only person she knows is like Sam. And then Jeff's kind of a deadbeat dad. Sorry.
No,
like, he
totally.
is
Yeah.
totally a deadbeat dad. But
You're
like
100%
everyone
right.
makes it seem like he's a hero, but like such a deadbeat dad.
Such a deadbeat dad. Sarah, I feel like we've already talked about this, but like your opinions of Tron: Legacy.
I think the tidbit of them, like the architect, makes it so much richer visually. I think it's just like one of those things that like you could tell they put so much effort and money into it, and like it feels akin to like James Bond, Quantum of Solace, where it's like, oh, they put so much money, but they just didn't have writers. Like, damn, like, I mean, that's tough.
I think this is a better movie than Quantum of Solace.
I agree.
I also think that the reason this movie works is also the reason that it's bad, is what we were talking about earlier, is that the first hour is so breezy and fun and is not weighed down by exposition and explanation, that the last hour really slows down, because in order for them to get to their big final finale, they like need to explain some stuff to you. But honestly, you don't. Like, I don't really care who Olivia Wilde is. I don't, like, if it was just we got to get Jeff Bridges out of here, I would have been fine with it. Like, I didn't need all this like backstory, but it's kind of cool. But again, I don't think it's necessary.
I feel like, okay, so here's my thing.
Give me your
Maybe like I understand that, but like perhaps that is the point, because like if you're building a universe, there is minutia and there is details that like feel heavy and extraneous, but they do matter in the grand scheme of a universe. So I think if they were trying to set up a multiple movie franchise, it's kind of important. It also kind of feels like that movie Aragon with like all the dragon lore.
Oh, banger.
Where it's like,
Banger of a book as well.
Yeah, but it's like so dense where it's like a lot of exhibition where you're like, okay, this is like a lot to get through, guys.
You seen Aragon?
No, I don't know if this is cheating, but I had to just Google Garrett Hudlin to like see how hot he
Also
was.
in Aragon.
He's also in Aragon?
Yeah, that's why I was like, that's crazy.
So now that you've Googled stuff, no more typing in the document. We are going to find out the real plot of Tron: Legacy, see how we did. Okay.
All right.
In 1989, Kevin Flynn, who was promoted to CEO of Encom International 7 years earlier, disappears. We got that. 20 years later, his son Sam, now Encom's primary shareholder, got that, pranks the corporation by releasing the company's signature operating system for free. I don't know if we said that.
I think we did.
We did say he like does a heist, but I don't think we said he got
free.
it. Okay.
We'll listen back.
I'll listen back. Is it in there, Reese?
I guess, yeah, because you said a la Robin Hood. So that's for free.
Okay. Encom executive Alan Bradley, Kevin's old friend, approves of this, believing it aligns with Finn's vision of free software. Nonetheless, Sam is arrested for trespassing. We got the arrest. Alan posts bail for Sam and tells him of a pager message originating from Flynn's shuttered video arcade after being disconnected for 20 years. There, Sam discovers a hidden basement with a large computer and laser, we're crushing, which suddenly digitizes and downloads him into the grid, a virtual reality created by Kevin. He is captured and sent to, quote, the games, where he must fight a masked computer program named Rinsler. That's a badass name.
Yeah.
Did you knew the Rinsler in your head? Because I was like, no way did she have that one.
No.
When Sam is injured and bleeds, check. Rinsler realizes that Sam is human, or a, quote, user. He takes Sam to Clue, the grid's corrupt ruling program, who resembles a young Kevin. This is when it's like, are you my dad? No, I'm not your dad, I'm Clue.
I'm your father.
No, I am not your father. Kind of a fun twist on...
I'm a computer version of your father.
Yeah, I'm your father's computer clone.
Nice.
Clue nearly kills Sam in a light cycle match. So cool.
So cool.
So cool.
That Wikipedia needs more detail about that, match.
It should read Clue nearly kills Sam in a light cycle match, parentheses, so cool. But Sam is rescued by Quora, Quurarra. Wow. An apprentice, we got that, of Flynn, who shows him Kevin's hideout outside Clue's territory. Who's Kevin?
Kevin Flynn's dad.
Oh, okay. Oh, Flynn's the last name. I keep getting confused because Flynn is a first name, not a last name.
Yeah, no, Sam Flynn, Kevin Flynn. But, like, Flynn, they only refer to Kevin Flynn, like, as Flynn.
Yeah, so Flynn!
They don't call him, like, Kev Dog.
Am I to create the perfect system?
Exactly.
Speaking of, Kevin explains that he'd been working to create the perfect computer system and had appointed Clue and security program TRON as its co-creators. Got that. The trio discovered species of naturally occurring isomorphic algorithms known as ISOs. Fuck yeah. With the potential to resolve various natural mysteries. Clue, considering them an aberration, betrayed Kevin, killed Tron, and destroyed the ISOs. Check. The portal permitting travel between two worlds is closed, leaving Kevin trapped between the systems. Clue sent the message to Alan. We didn't get this. Clue sent the message to Alan, hoping to lure him back into the grid, though Sam goes in instead of Alan. And so that's why Sam's there. Because the whole thing is Jeff Bridges is confused as to how Sam got there.
Yeah, that was his mistrust.
That's why he was like, what you doing here, son? And so when he does that, he reopens the portal for a limited time. This is why they have to race back to the portal.
Right.
Since Flynn's, quote, identity disk is the master key to the grid and the only way to traverse the portal, Clue expects Sam to bring Kevin to the portal so he can take Flynn's disk, go through the portal himself, and impose his idea of perfection on the human world. We did not get that as well. So the evil guy is trying to go into the world and create the perfect system in Earth, not just in Tron.
Right.
Against his father's wishes, Sam returns to Clue's territory to find Zeus. Check. A program who can provide safe passage to the portal. At the end of Line Club, the owner reveals himself to be Zeus, then betrays Sam to Clue's guards. In the resulting fight, Kevin rescues his son. Jeff Bridges rescues Garrett Hudlin. And then Cora is injured. This is the arm thing. And Zeus gains possession of Flynn's disc. Zeus attempts to bargain with Clue over the disc, but Clue instead destroys the club along with Zeus. Zeus died.
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P. Zeus.
Sad.
Kevin and Sam stow away aboard a Solar Sailor transport program where Flynn restores Cora and reveals her to be the last surviving ISO. Got that. The transport is intercepted by Clue's warship. Got that. As a diversion, Cora allows herself to be captured by the Riddler. Oh, so Cora gets captured.
Right, because that's how they got separated.
Oh, shit. Who Kevin recognizes as Tron. Not killed by Clue, but rather reprogrammed. Okay, so Tron has been reprogrammed. Sam reclaims Flynn's disc and rescues Cora while Kevin takes control of a light fighter. Clue, Rinsler, and several guards pursue the trio in light jets. I don't know what the fuck that even means.
Those are the planes.
Oh, those are the planes. Okay, so we got planes.
Planes, trains, and automobiles, baby.
Hey, new title. Rinsler remembers his past as Tron and deliberately collides with Clue's light jet. This is where we're talking about where he sacrifices himself. Then falls into the sea of simulation. It was a sea. Nicely done. Clue confronts the others at the portal, but Kevin reintegrates with his digital duplicate, destroying Clue along with himself. This is when Jeff Bridges sacrifices himself.
Yeah.
Cora, having switched discs with Kevin, gives Flynn's disc to Sam, and they escape together to the real world. And the ensuing explosion from Kevin's sacrifice levels the sea of simulation, destroying everything. Back in Flynn's arcade, Sam backs up and deactivates the system. He then tells a waiting Alan that he plans to retake control of ENCOM, naming Alan chairman of the board. Sam departs on a motorcycle with Cora as the sun rises. And that is the plot of Tron: Legacy.
I feel pretty good about that.
I think that was good. We will see how you did. But again, 70% or better. You got a lot of character names, and I think that's going to help you out.
Yeah.
And I might give you credit for Sea of Simulation, because that was a good poll.
Yeah.
How do you think we did, Reese?
I think you guys got a lot. I think there was a lot of inferrals. So, like, you didn't get that Clue wanted to take over the world. But
Yeah.
You did say he wanted the disc.
I was thinking about it, but I guess I just never said it.
Yeah.
Because, like, I guess, again, it's like the flashbacks are so dense and
so
fragmented throughout the film that it's just, like, so hard to, like, really, like, gather it all.
Okay. Well, now we're going to end this episode the way we end every episode. Anything you want to plug? Reese, do you have any plugs? Anything you want to shout out?
Can I go last?
You can go last. Sarah, what do you want to plug? I can go first.
Yeah.
I would like to plug B&H Video on 33rd Street. They gave me a bunch of new equipment, but it's a cool-ass store that's like Guitar Center meets Best Buy. But what I'd really like to plug is when you buy something there, you put your order in with the guy on a computer, and then a big conveyor belt goes back to their warehouse and brings it atop on like a big train thing, and it goes down behind the registers, and then you hand the guy at the register your ticket, and they come bring you a bag with your stuff in it. So the whole store has just showroom. There's no packaging. There's nothing you can pick up and buy.
Wow.
You just tell the guy, I want that. They put it in a computer, and then when you go up to the checkout, it's just there waiting for you. It was magical. I had a great experience, 10 out of 10, B&H Video.
I've actually been there before.
Isn't it sick?
But I went there to repair an old camera, so like I didn't get that experience. But they did give me like free film, which was really nice.
They seemed great there.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And I kind of was like, how are they managing as a company just giving away free things? But
There were so many people there. It was packed. I went to like 1 p.m. today.
I think because it's the only photo video store like on the entire island.
There's one in East Village.
But
it's not
Little.
B&H, though.
Yeah, but it's not B&H.
Okay, Sarah, what are you plugging?
I'm going to plug Libre Bakery in...
Libre?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll send you the handle.
Please do.
It is so good. I bring all my friends there. I'm literally there every weekend. I go after Solid Court on Saturdays.
Okay.
It is a small, family-owned Middle Eastern bakery in Cooper Square. The pastries are so good, so delicious.
Be more specific. What kind of pastries?
My favorite is the feta dill scone.
Ooh.
I also really like the za'atar bun.
Oh my gosh.
People really like the Lumi babka if you like a sweet thing.
I love sweet things.
I will say, and this is my like hater trait, they are
No.
known for their pistachio croissant.
Uh-huh.
I personally do not like it.
Woo!
I think it's a little overfilled.
Oh my god, that's a scorcher of a take.
And a little heavy on the honey.
Oh my god.
But everything else besides that is like perfect 10 out of 10. I love it.
have you gotten the regular croissant? Because I've gotten the regular and I thought it was like good.
I thought the regular croissant was good, yeah.
So it's the pistachio that overdoes it
I'm
for
not
you.
like a croissant girl. Like
That's
their
crazy.
Scones,
A good croissant
their
is
scones are
unbelievable.
so good.
Interesting. Scones are usually super dry.
No, these are so moist. They're almost like biscuits.
Well,
I
feel
like
I went
love
and messed
Libre.
up. I should have asked you for a recommendation
You
instead of like
should've.
my random croissant.
Do you want to go this weekend?
Croissant.
I'm busy.
Wow.
Oh.
That's tough. Reese, what are you plugging?
I'm plugging. Okay. If you live in New York City,
New York City.
I really implore you to go to your museums. In 2025, I've been making a more of a conscious effort to go to the museums because, you know, they're so rich with history.
Absolutely.
And so I actually went to the Guggenheim recently and, like, I think you should go too.
What was the coolest
Fun.
thing you saw at the Guggenheim? The Guggenheim. not
Okay,
the
so
Google.
really to tie it back to TRON,
Please do. This would be a good tie-in for the episode.
Tie
This would be
it.
the architecture was really beautiful.
Wow.
Because I have been to the
Wow.
Met like so many times, and the Met's nice, but it's like so like lengthy to like pace back and forth to go all the
great.
places.
It's also like, it's
Yeah.
the Met. You've been there, done
yeah,
that, you know?
been there, done that. So then the Guggenheim also been there, done that.
So
Probably
true.
should have been there earlier and done that. But it's nice because the way that it works, like first of all, the spiral's so beautiful, and then the exhibition that they put on is always on the outskirts of the spiral, so you get to like really enjoy the architecture of the building as you take in the art.
So true.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thanks for
Fun.
being here, guys.
Thanks for
having
coming,
us.
Jasper.
All right. That was TRON: Legacy, a good movie until it is decidedly not a good movie. My thanks to Sarah and Reese for coming on. Reese, a total sport. Never met her before. She was a blast. If you want to see what Reese typed out and Sarah and I created, you can head to Instagram right now. Ross did the artwork. Chase did the music. Chase was so drunk at karaoke last night, gang. And I was so sober. Not a lick of alcohol in this body. We'll see you Thursday for Spy Kids 3-D: Game Over.